Hello.
See how beautiful weather
Welcome
here
back,
is, San Diego?
everybody.
Hello,
Palm
everyone.
trees, palm trees.
Let's see who is here. Debbie is here. BRT is here. Debbie, just a little side note. I have not been ignoring you, blowing you off. None of that. I promise you. My life is crazy chaos on a constant basis. But I promise I still want to talk to you. I have a lot to talk to you about.
She's actually not here yet. That was a message she put earlier when I put the link up.
She's going to watch
No.
this. She's going to come back
Oh.
and check what she missed. She'll
Hey,
see.
Well,
Anyway.
she's having computer issues.
Yeah. So
everybody's having issues.
here we are, guys. We are Late Night Snacks.
We are.
Welcome back, guys. If you guys are here, you guys are just as pumped as we are to sit down and have a discussion and talk about Ryan Murphy's new show, Ratched, including Sarah. Or I'm sorry, not including, starring Sarah.
Starring.
So with that, who wants to go ahead and start us off with our introduction to Nurse Ratched?
With our introduction. Well, did we introduce the team? Hello. Welcome, San Diego.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows. And if you don't,
Well, watching.
For those of you who don't know who we are Late Night Snacks. I am Irish Melly, one of your beautiful hosts, along with the beautiful Wanda, the gorgeous Lady Di, and that guy. There we go.
And
Now you know
if you
how
are
we
new,
are. Now that we're
If you're
in
new, welcome. Nice to see you. I was having a rough day too, so I'm here though. I'm here in spirit for sure. So I am obsessed. I think we're all obsessed a little because it's Ryan Murphy, but I've been obsessed with this show for years since they started filming it. I've been waiting, and you guys know I've been waiting and waiting. This is supposed to be a prequel for a villain who is in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest named Nurse Ratched.
No,
If
not
you don't,
the villain.
yeah, for the villain of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nurse Ratched.
Correct.
Now, for those who are thinking about comparing the movie to this, hey, Afro,
You can.
you really
Okay,
can't.
Debbie's not mad at me. All right. Hey, welcome back.
Afros in the house.
Now that I know who you are, I want to say hey and say
Yes, your name. So you
I
tell
don't
us.
want to say
We're
that.
not going to do that.
How would you like? What would you like us to call you?
Differently, let us know. But otherwise, you
Afro.
be the Afro whale to us.
It's Afro.
Afro.
So Afro, you let us know what we should call you, since now we know who you are and we
Well,
appreciate your love.
your first name we had for you. Well, not we, I should say. Some of us had for you was Alfie.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I kept saying.
It's,
Some of us can't
it's
read.
totally up to that person what they would like us to call them. But anyway,
If
All
you ever
right.
your name you would like us to call you or just to contact with you, just let us know. But otherwise, you will always forever be our one
Please
and
don't tell me I'm going the wrong fucking way. Please don't tell me.
Uh-oh.
What?
No, he's...
oh, she
Like-
said, sorry,
He's
the app
having-
said either works.
Either works.
Oh.
Okay.
Alfie? Alfie works.
Alfie.
Alfie it is.
Alfie it is. All right. So we're
See, that's
digressing
how
already.
you are beloved by this team when we have given you your own nickname.
Absolutely.
Work.
So this is
Angelica.
supposed to be, I mean, I
Hi,
actually
Angelica.
just spoke to someone earlier who had just saw the television, had just seen this show advertised on Netflix, had not seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, did not watch American Horror Story, and wanted to know about this show. So I thought it was really interesting that I spoke to that person about an hour and a half ago, because coming into this, it is supposed to be a prequel. We're supposed to get the origin story of the major villain from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nurse Ratched. However, it does take place 21 years before the movie. In 1947, the movie is set in 1968. And I'm going to start with this for all the people who are going to go boo. in case you are, Michael Douglas is the executive producer on this show. You see him in the credits. Michael Douglas produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
He was involved with this whole process. It was his creation. And if he doesn't have a problem with it, then I don't have a problem with it. It's not for me to
Thank you.
say
Can we get a
what
round of
he wants
applause
to
for
do.
Lady Di? Thank you.
It is not for me to say. If Michael Douglas was not involved, it would be totally different to look at this show.
Yeah, it would be.
Totally different. That
It
was his
would.
baby. He won his Oscar. He was, and he, you know, he's on, you know, he's on television still. He's very active in this community. He okayed all of the casting. Ryan said he worked with him shoulder to shoulder.
Yes.
So I'm just going
Yeah.
to start off with, yes, I liked it. I wanted to love it a little more. And I think it's because I need season 2.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the way it ended. And I think it's because of that. However, these characters were fucking out of this world. The acting, if you just take it separate, I mean, you know, exactly, Debbie. A person can change a lot in 20 years.
Yeah.
And who knew she was gay?
Well, okay, let me point this out to prove your point right there. You just gave us the timeline of what year this starts. We know that this runs about 3 years.
Yeah, does it?
From when
Yeah.
it starts,
Did
it'll say
Ratched.
like 1
It
month,
does-
and
it
then,
does,
and then
yeah.
it goes like at the end, it goes fast forward a year in Mexico. That's right there.
Yeah, it does a
And
few
they
significant
jumped 2
jumps.
years.
Yeah, it
They
jumps,
jumped
yeah.
2 years at
It
the end.
jumps a bit.
But that brings me to my point is that everything we saw, everyone was very upset and said that it just went too fast, which it kind of did. But that was a year's
Pacing
time
was
here.
off.
Mhm.
I didn't think
I
it went too
agree.
fast.
It
I
should've
thought
been
it
10
started out from the
episodes.
flow.
Should have
That's
been.
me.
Yeah, I don't like the way they ended it.
Nice. I'm
I
not getting
didn't
on my soapbox yet.
Sorry.
I didn't
know
mind
everybody's
the
gonna
ending
hate me for
because
that.
I
did not
think
mind
that it just
any
sets up the
ending,
second
and I
season.
know it's because I know season 2 is coming. If I would have went into this prior to knowing season 2 was coming, yes, I probably would have been disappointed because I would have been like, well, what are we going to do now? But I still
Right,
would have
no
been pumped
resolution.
waiting going, oh, they're going to do season 2. They have to do season. But now that we know they are doing season 2, I was fine with it because I heard everybody complaining about the ending before I got there. I didn't hear what it was about, but everybody was upset with it.
I hate
And when
it.
I watched it, I was waiting to be upset. And honestly, there was
hate
some things I would have changed a little bit that not that I didn't like, but just that I didn't like the pacing of, like, suddenly pop, we're in Mexico and all this. And it almost seemed like a dream fantasy kind of,
Yes.
but I didn't mind the ending.
Yeah.
I hated it. I
Let's
absolutely
start at the
hated it.
beginning. Let's start with some of the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, you see
The
this
first
one-
episode. Well, first of all, with the first episode, I mean, were you guys just blown away? I was.
The cinematography
No.
was absolutely. I felt like I was watching
Yeah.
a whole Hitchcock
Yeah,
movie.
the cinematography, the colors, the characters were all great. What I have, and I said this after the first night. Remember, we were all talking. For me, the pacing was terrible in the show all the way through. It had no significant balance and direction when it came to pacing, and that's what threw me off watching it because it was like really, really fast or really, really slow. It was real fast for a scene, and then jump from this character and jump from that character with like no connection in between the scenes. I couldn't get used to the pacing. But everything else around it was this beautiful gift around it. And that's why I had such a pull-tug relationship with it because I was enjoying the characters. I was loving the cinematography, loving the characters, and the show wasn't grabbing me because it kept losing me when it changed direction. It
Yeah,
changed
I
direction
mean,
so fast.
it's you know, it just depends on how serious you're going to take everything, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has different ways of looking. I mean, I'm looking for entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking to get away from the world and watch a story. It doesn't have to be
Wait, that sounds weird to say Hitchcockian.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
very Hitchcockish
It is.
to me.
Uh-huh.
I felt like with the music and the way they were doing like the winding cars from the top,
Yes.
and it's so
And even
crazy.
the angles from the shots of the
month-
car from the road, from the bottom up.
Yeah.
And those long shots.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. The show was
It's
amazing.
very
It was
For
absolutely
me,
beautiful.
for what got me was the acting because the acting
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing.
by
The
everyone.
acting was Amazing.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was so nice to
see,
see Sharon
that's
Stone.
why-
I love that Ryan Murphy casts women who are
Yes.
over 35.
I was
That's-
going to
that's why I
bring
was
that
so
up. I
mad.
was going to say that
Sorry.
you know, I've really been thinking about it. Like, I love that these women in Hollywood who have had amazing careers, but they're still wanting to work, and people won't hire them because of their age. Not everybody, but a lot of people.
Right.
Whereas
See-
Ryan Murphy says, "No, you guys are
Yeah.
icons. I want to take you on. I want to show the world you can still do what you did back in the day, if not better now."
Yeah. See, this is where I hated the ending so much
Come
because
on.
Sarah Paulson, the Ratched character, for whatever she was developed so well. Sarah Paulson took her so seriously, and just we were knowing Sarah Paulson from this whole thing, and then the ending was like they turned her into a fucking Rambo hero, and I was like, what a way to shit all over her character after all that work that Sarah did.
See,
I
I
hated
think that what happened was she finally figured out her purpose, found her love, got to relax for a change.
It
But
was
she had this
so bad.
little bit that was still in her. Well, not a little bit, but you know.
It's like first off, they tried to pull the stunt with the dream sequence. It's like that's you know all the way back to Bobby in the shower. That's always been a stupid stunt to pull on audiences because you're in the show, you're in the moment. And, oh, it's a dream. Now everything repeats itself. You know, and then to go into that fucking Rambo moment at the end just totally made me mad. Because I was like,
because it wanted to bring you back. I think it was setting up season 2.
But here's how to set up season 2. This is what I told Dwan last night. When the cars crossed each other, and she pulled in under that gate with the name of the hospital, you go to
They
black.
should have ended it
Right fucking
right there.
And that would have been the most beautiful, poignant ending. Then you'd be like, what the fuck happened? He just left. That would have been your ending. But no, we had to have a Rambo moment.
Because they wanted to bring you back to the fact that she didn't, even though she seemed like she was happy and in love, she's still gonna fuck with you.
Well, even if she's gonna fuck with you, that's fine.
It was one more point showing you, because if you pay attention, we see Mildred as Mildred is, and that's why we get backstory on her. But you see the points throughout the season 1 series of these things that change her, because you see her. You see her with a conscience, with empathy.
She was changed brilliantly throughout. She didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me is the fact that they doubled down. They doubled down with the dream sequence. They doubled down with the repeating of the dream sequence, and then they had the big action star at the end. After we just had a really, really fantastic action scene where he escaped. So it was like it was overkill. It was like, oh, let's have one final big blow.
Well, he's just overdoing it, and it's just him. I mean, so it is what it is. I mean,
because our introduction to Mildred in the first episode, basically not our first line, but the first memorable line, and the first thing that shows us of her character is when she's at the gas station and she talks to the attendant.
Yeah, she talks to the attendant.
More often, your fingernails are filthy.
Yep.
But she also, what you didn't see in the trailer is and this is the thing throughout this whole thing. If you notice, all these men have hard-ons showing on through their trousers. Hello. How many of those did we see in that show? She's watching them almost tugging at their balls, and then she's looking at them saying it. I mean, the men in this show are mostly just a bunch of disgusting.
Oh my God! Can we talk about Vincent and
Oh my God!
Oh my God! Speak about disgusting fucking men.
I know.
Wow, and it was acceptable. It was so acceptable. Sure. That's why they openly did it the way that. Only even recently now have these people called out in Hollywood for the things they're doing.
What a chameleon, though!
So
as an actor, oh my God.
I think he even downplayed the character. I really do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I thought he was phenomenal.
And then, oh my God.
And the way men really were, and the way a governor
to go from iconic roles. If you didn't know that was Vincent D'Onofrio, he could have hidden. He was such a chameleon.
Oh yeah.
For a big man, it was brilliant.
If you want to take my favorite secondary player, it's got to be Amanda Plummer.
Odin.
Fucking Amanda Plummer, man.
Odin.
Every time I see her, I just keep thinking about Honey Bunny.
Who's Honey Bunny?
From Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
From the very beginning. Pulp Fiction is one of my top 3 favorite movies, and I can recite almost the whole movie. Most people, I think, do absolutely adore it.
Not a Tarantino fan.
I do. In the beginning,
her name is Louise.
Her name is Louise.
Her name is
I
Louise.
wonder.
The flapper.
I know Louise was a popular name for the time period, but I wonder if it was almost like, let's throw Louise in there somewhere for an homage to Louise Fletcher for
That's true.
Nurse Ratched.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
That was
Yeah.
the first thing
I thought about that too.
Her name.
Okay, so
We're like halfway
let's.
through.
We've been on like 15 minutes. Let me go and talk to you guys just really quick because we did this so people could talk to us. So let's see here. Let's go back to Debbie. Louise Fletcher as Nurse Ratched was voted the best villain, number 5 of all time, and she's one of my idols.
A subtle performance. It was brilliant.
Yep, a person can definitely change a lot in 20 years.
Yeah.
Yay, Michael Douglas from B. He said it should have been 10 episodes, maybe a little longer.
No.
I guess she said Kirk Douglas was supposed to be the original star of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes, yes.
But by the time he got into production, his son actually did it because he was too old to play him,
Yes.
which I thought was interesting. But Jack Nicholson was in it. 1947, yes. And yes, 4 seasons, Deb. And we'll get into that at the end when we wrap it up. And then Alfie is, I feel still worth it, but they nailed the shit out of this show. It was a little herky-jerky, but cool. I actually think that's a perfect way to say it.
Herky-jerky.
I don't know if all the rest of you agree with me. Hitchcock, LOA, I was blown super Hitchcockian. Deb,
Yeah.
Mike, it was paced well for what it was, a noir,
No,
perfect
it
amount of
wasn't.
camp.
No, it wasn't.
And then Alfie says that's a Murphy touch, quick moments. I agree.
Quick moments is
The scene in
Murphy
the stairwell in episode
Don't say
4. It's almost the exact same theme lighting from Vertigo.
Yeah.
What a delicious nod.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what I said, but she agreed with me. The dream sequences are part of the troupe.
No.
And she loves
No.
Pulp Fiction, and she loves Amanda Plummer.
No.
You're the only, I hate to say this, Michael, you're the only human I've ever met who doesn't like
It's a student. Oh, I don't like Tarantino. I don't
doesn't like
agree with Tarantino.
Tarantino.
I don't follow his work. I don't
Michael
like it.
tends to not like the things that the masses do like.
I don't
Yeah.
like violence for violence. I don't like the stuff that Tarantino did. I don't like the fact that Tarantino is who he is and got away with it when other people are just like fucking their careers are over. Tarantino is gross.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not a Tarantino.
He had
fan.
Amanda
Anyway.
Arquette, and he had Amanda Plummer, which I thought Amanda Plummer hit it out.
Rosanna Arquette.
Rosanna Arquette.
Yeah.
I saw that social work. I said, "Oh my God, it's Rosanna Arquette!"
I know.
Yeah, no, we freaked out when we saw that. We're like,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Real quick, hands fucking down to Aaron Kruger and Mike McCash and their teams for the FX and makeup work on this
Oh
show.
yeah.
Oh, the kid. Wait a minute. We forgot one actor who was like fucking stellar in this. Was the kid from 13 Reasons Why that played the kid with the amputee kid? He has gone leaps and bounds since 13 Reasons Why. Oh
is
my
that
God.
That's where he's
Yes.
No,
from.
we're saying we knew the kid looked familiar. We couldn't.
Yeah,
picture where he
that's
was
where
from.
He was the little drug addict in 13 Reasons Why. Justin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deb says, Mike, you don't like noir either, obviously.
I like good Britain noir. This had pacing problems. They did. It had pacing
For
problems.
me.
I love the show. Don't get me wrong. I love the
watching
show.
this show.
I love
Well,
the
guess
show.
what? It was number 1 there too.
It was number 1 everywhere.
I love the show. Don't get me wrong. I have my problems with it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing's perfect unless you're watching Schitt's Creek.
Get him, die.
Yeah.
Especially after 7 Emmys last night. Every single Emmy. Yay to go. Schitt's Creek.
I know. RuPaul's fucking got Emmys too.
I wish it would have ended in a different way, but
Yeah, so.
You know, well, again, I mean,
Thank you.
the big oh shit. Okay, so let's talk about these oh shit moments.
It was amazing. It really was.
The first oh shit moment was the connections at the end of episode 1.
The effects, the makeup, the way
That's the way to do a
my
reveal.
oh shit
That's
moment
the way
was
to do a
finding out
reveal.
she wasn't really a fucking nurse.
Yeah, well, I said, but so let's go back to the episode 1 when they revealed the connection between the two of them after this, this kind of haphazard episode. We're trying to figure everything out, who's who, what was what, and then there's that subtle reveal, and I'm like, that's how you drop a reveal. But applause. I mean, there were some perfect moments right there. That was brilliant.
I guess Debbie didn't like the kid. She said she was his least favorite.
Oh my God, that kid
because
came so
I
far.
felt like I was actually sitting down and watching a period piece, but not like I was in that time as I watched.
I felt like it was a graphic
Absolutely.
novel. It felt very graphic novel-y to me.
The shots, I love the way they filmed it. I
Very
love
Watchmen.
the transitions.
Colors, yep.
I kept wondering what was coming next because there was so much different things happening.
Felt very dark Dick Tracy Watchmen to me. That whole graphic novel comic book thing.
Yeah, well, and all that
With the
comes from
color.
the old 40s Hitchcocky kind
Well,
of
are
movie.
you saying Dick Tracy just because of the yellow suit she came in?
No, I think because of the color palette. Because of the colors. The
Just
color
the color,
palette was very Dick
I mean,
Tracy.
I want to steal the dresses they wore with the dance. I wanted to steal Cynthia Nixon's dress.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Oh,
that color blue. I
Gorgeous.
love Sarah's color too, but Cynthia's is like my favorite color blue.
I loved
great.
every time we saw Sarah in her emerald Wicked Witch green.
Yeah, it was just the teal
I got
colors.
such Oz vibes in Wicked, and then I got like what was it? Once Upon a Time, the show.
Absolutely.
From there,
another subtle change. Now we're talking about dresses. Another
I
subtle
just
change.
got that vibe from her from the greens.
The best relationship in the show for me was Bunty and Ratched. How their relationship became a positive one.
You mean Bucket?
Bucket.
You mean Bucket?
It just happened. It was just
and Sarah was talking. I think wasn't she? I don't know if she did this in her live, Melinda, because you were there, but she was talking about the woman who played her. She had her up, and she said, "Watch the relationship I have with this woman. It was one of my favorite parts of filming."
Yeah, it's so subtle.
Oh yes, do you know who?
Judy Davis? Is that her name?
Davis, yeah.
I mean, Sarah said that she can now die because she's worked with the best co-star she could ever work with.
Oh, bless her heart. You could tell Sarah put everything into this.
You know who I said?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, who?
Sharon
Stone. Sharon Stone.
Close.
The one that played, what's her name? Her lover.
No.
Cynthia Nixon?
No. Petunia, the Capuchin mother.
Oh, God. Let's give it up for Odine.
And you know what?
Yes.
That was when
she had the best one-liners.
Well,
she had the best one-liners.
Wait. With that, I have to tell you guys. Okay, our introduction to Undine is my favorite part of the whole
I was like,
series
she comes out yelling at that boy.
Hold on, we're going to say it now, Michael.
Boy, how he couldn't play the violin. She's played the Royal Orchestra.
Oh, you're talking about Wendy, right?
Beethoven would fuck you in the
face.
I was like, what the fuck are we watching now?
Anyway.
I was like, what the hell?
That is the line of the series. Of the series, people.
Oh yeah.
Right there.
She was the best. She was the best.
The people in the show were so great. Everybody from her to, I mean, seeing Cynthia Nixon, she was in a much bigger part than I thought she would be in. I thought, she did an amazing.
Role was going to be important. I thought she was going to die with the shot.
Absolutely.
And I thought that's how we're going to start to see this transition of Ratched. But I didn't, because with us knowing we've got more.
No, I think what's going to happen to her is going to change her in the next season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So there was only one character that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and maybe she was supposed to. I didn't like Dolly.
I knew you were going to say
Dolly.
Yeah, it was such a.
Did you like her?
Creepy? No, it was almost like a creepy kind of role.
Well, I know she was supposed to be a little bit touched, but she didn't play it touched enough. She should have either went totally straight or totally over the top.
It was very
over the top shit till she grabbed the
It was extremely cartoony when she went over the top.
Yeah. And can we please give John Briones some serious snaps?
Oh my God.
Serious snaps. That was the role of his career. Woo! That's his best work he's ever done. That was the best.
I don't know. I liked him in Versace. He was really good.
Amazing.
Really good in Versace.
He's one of the best engineers out there in Miss Saigon.
But I don't know this role. He was so fucking good. I feel
So
like
good.
his role was a lot taller.
His blow ups.
He could actually really show and shine because this was even bigger than his Apocalypse role. If you
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
He was in every episode. He was in every episode. He had a starring role in this season, and it was his little blow ups. Yeah, he was.
No.
Yeah. Was it?
No.
Yeah, he was in a flashback.
Almost
Well, like,
everyone.
who got credit in the beginning? We're in most of them.
Yeah. He's top. He's building the top. Anyway, so his little blow ups, his little tantrums that he would throw, they were so
Alfie,
brilliant.
when you said I knew you wouldn't like her, do you mean me or everyone?
What?
Wait. I am on ding. Is that you, Hilla?
I knew you wouldn't like her.
I know.
I know you wouldn't like her. We were talking about Dolly.
Oh, Dolly,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, it's just
I didn't mind.
Nobody liked her.
I thought it was a good pairing for Finn.
Yeah, I just thought
served.
she should have been a little bit crazier, a little sooner.
I do agree with you where like the development of her character could have been a little bit different.
she served the purpose she needed to serve,
Yeah,
and that was okay.
I think she could have been a little crazier in the beginning.
But yeah, I agree with that totally.
But I think we weren't supposed to know that she was. That's why.
Right. That was
We
the
were
point.
supposed to think she was just, some teenage nurse who just didn't want to do her job.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I also
Because the one
I
who
also
even
wanna point
involves
out
her
the
or
fact-
informs her that she's an infomaniac.
Yeah.
I also want to point out the fact that in the first episode, when Finn's doing all the killing, he gets absolutely no blood on him whatsoever.
None.
None.
There's- you can tell. You can tell that Finn
Had nothing on him.
Finn taps some dandy in this role. He taps into dandy in this
He
performance.
That's what I said. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was watching this with my husband, and he said I can't see him as anything else right now but dandy.
Yeah, well, he was channeling Danny.
Facial expression and even his voice, because he if you hear Finn talk normally, his voice is a softer. It's not as rough. And he made this one sound more rough.
And it's the eyes when he looks up in the eyes. That was a very dandy thing.
It was the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the eyes.
Yep, he looks up.
Yep.
It was just,
Yeah, Finn did
and
great.
then
Finn, I
honestly,
forgot how good
them
Finn
explaining,
and Sarah's.
they,
I forgot
them
how good their
explaining-
chemistry is. Finn and Sarah.
But I mean, how sad is it that they explained what happened to them? You knew it was got to be something really, really, really bad, and it was probably.
Oh God! But the
worst
way
thing
they
that could
revealed that, see, another moment of perfection in the show. I mean, there was moments.
Yes.
There really was with that puppet show. That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And it's like, see, there is almost perfect areas in this. So good. Her
So,
Sarah. Just
that
watching
was
Sarah grow.
a total oh shit moment when you found out that that's what, and that had to be a
Now the reveal in episode 1. Everyone away.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. The reveal in episode 1. Did they say they were brother and sister, or it wasn't until the puppet show?
No, they said
No.
They said they were brother and sister.
Brother and sister when Ratched went to Edmund.
In
yeah,
episode
she
1.
went downstairs
couldn't
and
remember.
said, "Hello, brother."
That
And
was
Yeah,
she
okay.
turned around to look at her.
Yeah, I
It
just
was the very,
I
very
forgot.
end of 1. She said,
Yeah.
"I finally
Very,
found
very-
you, brother," and
Yeah.
then it was over.
I knew I liked that reveal, but I forgot if she actually revealed
Yeah.
that piece of it.
She
Yeah.
actually revealed it. Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
saying. Episode 1, if
Episode 1 was amazing.
you based your opinion off of watching episode 1, like let's say you've never seen a Ryan Murphy production before to compare
Oh
it,
yeah.
and
Oh,
you
yeah. It would have me try. It would have me absolutely engaged.
blown away. There was so
yeah.
much in there,
Well,
but
just
it
the
wasn't
cinematography
too
alone.
much. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
The cinematography and the acting alone would have had you interested. If you didn't know anything about the show, didn't know what
Right.
Ratched, didn't know anything, you would have been all on board
Sarah was just. I just thought Sarah was
because
just,
it was so beautiful to
especially
look
the
at.
first
It was
episode.
absolutely amazing. Hi, baby.
You were just mesmerized by
Yeah.
her,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you saw her be frumpy, and then go in and look at that.
What I liked about Sarah's performance and what she did with Ratched, just period, was the fact that she did not try and channel Louise Fisher. She just
No.
Louise Fisher. She
No.
just did it herself, and you lost the fact you didn't sit there and try and compare her because right away Sarah gave you I'm not comparing, and so you let go of that because a lot of times they try and do an impersonation or whatever, and you're sitting there comparing in your mind the whole damn time. Sarah didn't give us that, and that was great.
But
Absolutely
you know,
great.
you can't because what, like, okay, so let's say that 20 years ago, I was 37 years old. I am nowhere near the person I was when I was 37 years old.
Oh no,
Right.
of course
I
not.
mean,
In your
Of course
20s,
not.
I agree, Afro. Sarah Paulson better get an Emmy for this performance.
This show is going to get a lot of nominations.
This show, this show's
it's better.
well,
It
and
Okay, so and Alfie loves your backdrops, Melinda, are just way cool. And then
do this for you guys. I want you guys to have something cool to look at, not my boring basement.
I know, I'm sorry, mine is boring today.
My cluttered, boring basements.
I just saw the green. I thought you just had your green screen up.
So yeah, I mean, I watched it almost all twice.
Oh, yeah, I've only seen it once. I just finished last night.
Watched it.
I have to go back for a second watching. I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and do it again.
Because I took notes throughout the whole thing because I knew we were doing this. So I want to go back and just kind of enjoy it and just sit back and watch it and just be like WTF all over again, you know?
However, it did make me want to go back and watch Cuckoo's Nest. And I know Cuckoo's Nest like the back of my hand. I used to teach it in nursing school when we were doing psych. And and I love Cuckoo's Nest, but I got to be in a certain mindset to watch it because it's so sad.
Yes, and Undine, Debbie, yes. I wanted to point out real quick, and I meant to say this at the top of the show. I've been reading a ton of reviews, a ton of articles on this, just to see what everybody's thinking, what's going on, where's everybody at. And I'll tell you, a lot of the major publications, and let's just say I'm just talking print. I'm not even talking like video reviews and such.
Like Variety and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, entertainment, Variety, even Bloody Disgusting, things like that are, online publications, but they're credible,
reputable,
publications. And I'll tell you, not everybody had a problem with it, but a majority of people do. I have found fans are in love regardless, but these so-called professional critics have a big problem with this, with Nurse Ratched and the portrayal thereof. And their go-to is that we're supposed to see this big villain, this iconic villain that we know from Cuckoo's Nest. Therein lies the problem, is that these people are comparing Nurse Ratched, Louise Fletcher's Nurse Ratched to Sarah Paulson's Nurse Ratched, and you can't do that because right here is where Nurse Ratched is, like you said, in 68. Whereas here, this is an origin story, and these people are forgetting that we're seeing what led her to become the woman that she is and why she becomes this horrible, grotesque villain.
Exactly. I think they need to wait till they get to season 4 when she's in the time period before they can say it. And I'm sure Michael Douglas is going to tell them all fuck off that I was fine with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just,
well, he wouldn't have put his name on it if he wasn't,
He wouldn't. He would not have put his name on it. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't need the money. Exactly. He doesn't need the notoriety, People don't need, like you said, you're the one telling people this. Most people don't even know this. So he's not doing it for anything for himself. He's doing it because it's a project that's near and dear to his heart, and he wants to make sure that it's done the right way. So
he wants it explained why she turns out to be such a horrible person with no feelings.
Right. Because that's what I like to know. Don't you guys? When you find these, these villains in horror and, psychological thrillers and things like that. But when you have these villains, regardless of where they are, don't you want to know why? Like when I got Michael Myers' origin story, or when they actually finally gave you Freddy Krueger's origin story, I was like, holy crap. Like that explains a lot. Did it make it okay? No, but it was so nice to know like why that person became who they are.
I always love to understand why someone does especially somebody who does bad things,
because it's not normal to us. That's not the norm. So we want to try and understand why it's the normal for these people.
And so you see somebody who is already kind of fucked up, who's known for killing. Before there was Dr. Kevorkian, there was Nurse Ratched in the 40s and World War II. Kevorkian's the one who did the assisted suicides, and that's all she fucking did in the war, was help these guys who wanted to die.
Yeah. And I liked getting
Afro.
that backstory, finding out that she was never really a nurse.
Yeah, I was like, and
Afro
see,
just
I think that that's why they had her get money, and I think that because in 1968 they're going to check your credentials, so I think the second season
Yeah.
we're going to see her actually become a nurse.
That's what I'm thinking too. I think we're going to see her go somewhere, or she's running from Edmund, and then she really does learn these things.
Because she said, "I'm poor. I don't have money."
Would also get, because she did learn things. She did do nurse things. She did basically a candy striper job, I guess you could say, but with nurse responsibilities and everything,
and assisted death.
But it's going to still give her a recommendation because they're obviously still friends.
Yeah, but back then you could get away with what she was doing in the 60s.
Right.
There's no way you could go to a place like that and not give them a certificate from a real nursing school. So I think that this gave her the means, because if she was an orphan with no money, she's like, well, I joined the army, but she specifically said, I did not have the means to go to school.
Yeah.
And okay, guys, do we want to add anything else before we end the stream?
So let's see. Let's read the rest of our little things here. So, it's, and we're going to, the other thing too is that I definitely saw a little American Horror Story, but you kind of have to because it's Ryan. But I saw more Hollywood in this than I did. I didn't. There was a lot of people who just said it's just another American Horror Story. I don't agree.
I don't agree that it was another American Horror Story. Do I see connections and similarities? Yes,
absolutely.
But do I think that it was, all no.
And Michael, we can't hear you at all. I'm so sorry.
I can't hear him. You're cutting in and out.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know there's so many people, but if the people who are looking at that look at it the way that we just described it, which I think is how it was meant to be, and if you guys think I'm wrong, please tell me. But I've been into this for like years. So, oh my God, Alfie, thank you. You are the best friends anyone can have.
Mm-hmm.
How sweet are you? Thank you.
There you go.
Alfie says we're the best friends anybody could have.
It made me cry, and I'm not being sarcastic. Like, seriously, that's very sweet.
Oh,
you have no idea. Like, we will do some more behind the scenes stuff for you guys.
I like that,
Dawn. No idea how much that means to us. We don't.
You did a while back. It was up there.
I did. You guys weren't paying attention.
Sorry. Thank you. I apologize.
I love villains in horror and TV shows and movies. Yes,
Yes, exactly, Debbie. When she was called the Angel of Mercy, like I said, before Kevorkian.
Yes, she did. I saw that.
Can you hear me now?
She was like, it was like she had always felt like this was a bad thing, and suddenly she felt very positive.
Very validated.
Yes.
I want to make my point on American Horror Story, because I'm one of the believers that, yes, this absolutely could have been a season of American Horror Story. Take the one cuckoo out of the cuckoo's nest out of it. Take the name Nurse Ratched out of it. There was so much horror in this. There was such a timeless feel to it, just like American Horror Story. Mm-hmm. If you put the American Horror credits on top of this, without their name Nurse Ratched, say it was Nurse Betty Sue, it was American Horror Story.
But would you say that if we didn't have the cast from American Horror Story in it?
Yeah. Yeah, with this, and this, sure.
Well, I mean, it was Murphy-esque. You could, it definitely had that.
He does. You can tell it's him,
and that might be nip tuck and say the same thing, or it's very Murphy-esque. I think it'll be interesting to see, like he's doing. It'll be interesting, not so much the boys in the band, but more like the prom, which is supposed to be a Christmas thing. That'll be really interesting to see. That's why maybe this week for Theory Thursday we can talk about they are starting production, but not till Halloween, so it's the very end of October, and how when Sarah's talking,
I think it would be fun to start. I think we need to get some more AHS coverage. We have a lot of our
we're going to start a little bit more back on that now.
I think now is the time to start theorizing about 10. We haven't really done it publicly. I think it'd be cool to do that with you guys.
That's okay, Alfie. You don't have to learn. You don't have to spell because you're typing. It's hard.
Oh,
We know.
geez. Do you see half of our spelling? No, you don't. But you, well, trust me, we type too, and we type fast, or we just we screw it up
Yeah.
all the time.
Nothing
And
wrong with
We're
that.
all over the place.
properly.
I need to show up a little bit more. I haven't had a chance to do this quite as much, but
Nip Tuck, yes, Debbie, yes, yes.
it's just he has a certain style about him. He's, he is who he is.
I first met Ryan Murphy too. Was Nip Tuck. I started episode 1 of season 1, and I was hooked.
See, I was
never-
Glee.
I
was
never
Glee.
saw Glee, and then I finally watched after it ended. I watched an episode or two. I'd seen like pieces here and there, but I'd never watched a full episode. I'm not into musicals, so it really just wasn't for me.
Right up my alley.
I
Yeah,
watched
me
it ever since.
I
But
think
I've seen some of the songs and the acting and everything in the cast, and everything was amazing with that
I
one.
was freaked out when I stumbled onto American Horror Story. The only reason I watched it was because I like witches. I didn't watch. I started in season 3, and then I worked my way back, and then it was like, it was so the stories themselves. Because I don't normally do, and there is a lot of gore in this show too. It definitely had the American Horror Story feel because of the gore. Absolutely.
Yeah, I had more cringe moments in this season than I've had in a lot
Oh.
of North. There was times
Yeah.
I averted my eyes this season. It was just all the self-mutilation and the freaking lobotomies and stuff. Oh,
Oh my
God.
God, and the fucking leeches.
The leeches? Yeah.
There was a lot of cringe
I'm
moments.
just telling you, Amanda Plummer blew me away. She is so quirky and so cool. And then to have her at the end with the car in the car, that was another oh fuck moment for me.
The flapper, the jazz baby.
The jazz baby. When she was in the car with Eddie and Wendy. I mean, you kind of figured Eddie and Wendy would be together, but you're like, how did they know? What inside information did they get? And all of a sudden, there's Louise with them.
Yep.
And then you're like, okay, so I guess I'm going to see you again.
Yep. All right. Do we have any closing thoughts before we close
I
this?
think that was our thoughts. I want to go ahead and say something real quick. Excuse me. Before we wrap it up, I just want to say that I let all of you know whoever showed up tonight was going to get an extra bonus tidbit of Ratched information for sticking to the end. So I want to let you guys know our special treat that we have for you is letting you know before everybody else. But we do have an extra special video coming for you guys of Ratched coverage that is going to be something Debbie will very much like. And let's just say it's going to have a lot of insider info. And it's going to be pre-recorded, will not be live. So you guys make sure, comment down below that video and tell us what you guys think. Because I am dying to know. When I ask these questions, I want answers. All right.
Hi, Christopher. Somebody else just showed up. Hi, great stream.
Christopher Bernard. Thank you for being here. It is wonderful having you here. We're so glad you
I
joined us.
know that sometimes
I hope
people
you've
don't
been
say
here for the
hello.
whole thing because we're about to wrap up. If not, please go back and rewatch.
No, this is actually my nephew, you guys.
Oh, well, hello, Christopher nephew.
Well, if he hasn't seen the whole thing, go back and rewatch.
He will.
And let us know in the comments below the video after you rewatch what you thought. Because I like I said, I'm dying to know.
Yeah, I mean,
I love conversing with you guys.
What we felt about the show. I mean, did you? I thought the care.
Oh, she's cutting in and out.
Yeah, that's like I did. Yes, come.
Be excited about something that we haven't been able to binge, and to be able to binge something that's different and fun. I mean,
I haven't wanted to binge anything in a while, so I was really excited for this, and I like that.
I don't know if I would have preferred it week to week. I think I might have. I might have liked it.
I think I would have liked it week to week too. I think you're right.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think it might have slowed the pacing down for us, where everybody felt like it was rushed. I think if it was, and I think maybe Ryan's still used to writing for those week to week shows.
But like
Hollywood,
Hollywood,
not writing, but creating for those week to week shows.
I loved how I could binge Hollywood. Hollywood flowed for me.
Yes.
Really, really, really easily. Like I loved binging Hollywood.
All right, guys. So we are going to wrap it up because we are running late here. But please come back tomorrow and join us. We will be back tomorrow to stream or to have info and all that good jazz. We love you. We love you for being here. Remember, Beethoven would fuck you in the face. Good night.
Hitler.
Good night, guys.